Now you may be asking yourself, why is he watching a Christmas movie in the middle of summer? And that's a super valid question. And to you I say,
I'm sad, I'm lonely, I'm depressed.
I needed something happy to watch. A lot of the movies I watch are either messed up or kind of bittersweet, and I've never heard of a Christmas movie that isn't happy and full of hope or leaves you feeling empty inside, so I need this one in my life right now. The movie starts off with a monologue about the origins of mailing letters to Santa, cause what's a Christmas movie without exposition? And that's not sarcasm, I love it to bits. But the only form of media that has more exposition than a Christmas movie is anime. Narrated by our main character Jesper, who is, for the lack of a better word, a rich fail's son, Nepo baby, whose dad runs and operates the thing called the Royal Postal Academy, which is like the post office but on roids. These guys will make sure you get your package even if you live on O Block. And Jesper was given a job there 9 months ago, but he couldn't care less. And why would he? If I came from a rich family, I wouldn't want to work or do anything either. A job where you actually do and create things of any value is for poor people. I want a real job, like one where I tell people if they work hard enough, they can be like me someday. But his dad is tired of him being a lazy bum, so he tries to instill a sense of responsibility in him by sending him to Smearensburg, which is in the middle of nowhere. Jesper must stamp 6,000 letters in a year or he'll be kicked out, which I feel as though if you don't want a spoiled brat as a child, you probably shouldn't have raised him to be a spoiled brat, but whatever, it's a little too late. Jesper makes the long trek to Smearensburg, and it's really the ninth circle of hell. It's cold, but you also got children being hoodlums with their friends.
I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friends.
Like realistically, what level of trauma do you have to hit to make a snowman and then stab and lynch him? Jesper learns just how bad it really is in Smearensburg when he rings a bell and they get it popping like rival gangs at a function. Which is crazy, because if y'all really beefing, why do you need a bell to tell you when to set it off? I might just be a bitter person, but if I hate you, I'm fighting you any and everywhere. The mall, a hospital, your funeral. You will never know a day of peace if we beefing. Hell, I better not catch your mama at the farmer's market, or I'm whooping her ass too. On site means on site. I still remember the face of a kid who beat me up in elementary school. If I saw him today, I would chew his face off like a spider monkey. My hate doesn't die, it matures. Jesper, in order to escape the chaos, stumbles across the old school where the former teacher, Miss Alva, has become a few nuggets short of a combo meal after living in Smearensburg. Once happy and hopeful, much like actual teachers in the real world, has become cold and jaded due to the school system she works in. She now sells fish out of a classroom in order to make enough money to get out of Smearensburg. And you know what? Slay Queen, I'm sure you're gonna girl boss your way out of this rural town. Jesper is really starting to learn the gravity of his new situation, and while I don't like him very much, if I had to poop in an outhouse, I'd just murder my father. I'd go into a Hulk-like state and just beat him to death with a bag of mail. Hulk! Smash! Sure, I might go to jail, but jail has indoor plumbing. He then in desperation tries to scam a child into mailing his drawing back to himself when it blows away in the wind, which I fully support scamming children. If you're a child, I want you to grab your parents' credit card right now and go sub to my Twitch. And if you're an adult, use your wife's boyfriend Amazon Prime. He won't mind because you're dating him too and you're in a lovely healthy polycule. Weeks go by and Jesper at no point thought to look at the rest of his map that shows a charted area on it that he's never been to. Why? Because the story has to progress somehow. This isn't a manga. They don't off-panel story progression here. This area is where the woodsman lives, who turns out to be a man named Klaus, our Santa. But this isn't the jolly Saint Nick from the Coca-Cola commercials. This Santa looks like he did time in San Quentin for things that he won't talk about, and if you ask him, he just grunts. This Santa's seen some shit, but he has a good side as he forces Jesper to break and enter into the home of the little boy Jesper tried to scam earlier in order to give him a present that Klaus made. I love Christmas. It's generally my favorite holiday. I love the lights, the cold, the music, the sense of community, everything. But imagine trying to explain the concept of Santa. You see, there's a jolly fat white man who comes into your house and gives your children presents. It gets out that if you send Klaus a letter, you get a toy, and Jesper does the rational thing in a situation. He goes around asking children if they want free toys. That then becomes an even bigger thing because more children are coming to drop off letters, but they don't know how to write. So Jesper tells them to go to school, which makes the girl boss teacher almost crash out, because she's like, how dare you send these kids to school when I almost have enough money to leave? Which is indicative of a bigger issue because the kids are starting to interact more because of Klaus and Jesper, but shout out to Klaus for bringing rivals together. Ava experiences a change of heart when she sees the children's natural curiosity and genuine desire to learn, and just like a real teacher, uses her own money to buy them school supplies. And I just want to say, good teachers and good bottoms are the real heroes of this country. Jesper lies and tells the kids, oh, badass kids don't get toys. Sorry.
Trust me, you do not want to be on the naughty list.
Even though every child has been bad the entire movie so far, they're kids and too dumb to realize that the only one who didn't get something is the one Jesper hates. This leads to all the children from both families going around and doing community service and being kind to each other, which I'm all for. I always support people being kind to each other. I try to be nice for the love of the game, but I'd love if I got new PC parts whenever I help an old lady carry her groceries. No good deed goes unnoticed, unfortunately, and the leaders of both families try to murder Jesper and Klaus, because as Klaus says,
"A true, selfless act always sparks another."
And everyone just kind of stops beefing. While this is happening, Jesper notices that toys don't just magically appear infinitely and they have to be made, and that takes time. Which he's not a fan of, because just like me, he's trying to hit 6K, boy. Throughout the movie, Klaus will often have literal acts of God guide his actions, which is fine narratively, but I hope they get more into it, because they haven't really made it known if this world has magic and mysticism or not. So I just find it odd sometimes that like heaven will literally guide him to do things. Alert, we have a dead wife alert. I repeat, a dead wife. Jesper is about to reach his turning point in his character development when he selfishly builds Klaus a workshop to make toys in, despite Klaus saying no. Jesper then in his excitement accidentally reveals a wood carving Klaus made of him and I assume his dead wife, which angers Klaus and he tells him to leave, which makes Jesper feel like a stinky poo-poo head. Saddened, Jesper finally helps the little blonde kid who has been basically living on his porch for the last few days and takes her to Alva to help her write a letter to Klaus. Klaus and Jesper travel to a frigid terrain over ice and by boat to deliver a sleigh to the little girl who Jesper helped write a letter to Klaus to. And this would be a beautiful moment if only I wasn't thinking the entire time, if it is that difficult to get to her, how did she travel to their town by herself? How did she even hear about Klaus? Jesper is now at the point in his hero's journey where he is shown a new world but still clinging to his old one. After you hear school children singing, to which he responds to Alva, "You not going to leave?" Alva then shows him the new town that sprung up from his actions with Klaus. That on top of Klaus talking about how he originally made toys in preparation for kids him and his wife couldn't have, and how happy Jesper and him giving joy to kids makes him feel. Jesper feels like a dick, cause he is. But it's okay, King, growth takes time. I'm not trying to hate, but they kind of phoned it in on that romance there. Alva and Jesper haven't interacted like 5 times this entire movie, and like 2 of them were hostile and 1 time she threatened him with a knife. But I'm enjoying the movie, so I'll give him a pass. The 2 heads of the family write fake letters so that Jesper will reach his 6K quota, which is not how I expected them to take care of Jesper in a movie with outright guns, but this is a kid's movie, so I shouldn't have expected them to just walk up to him and... Anyway, their plan works, and that's how it's revealed that Jesper all along did this just so he could get back to his comfy rich kid life, which in his defense, I wouldn't want to live in a small town in the middle of nowhere where it's always cold either. Like, stop playing. Anyway, with one half of their plan complete, the leaders of the clans go to destroy the toys Klaus plans to deliver. Jesper swoops in and tries to help, but the clan leaders' plans go just as they thought. Well, but not really, because the toys they destroyed were fake all along. Jesper then goes on to talk about the 12 years after that night, how him and Klaus expanded so that they could go on and deliver more toys to different children, and you can see obviously both of them getting older until Klaus is eventually beckoned by a light and then just disappears. Jesper goes out to look for him but has no luck, but then Jesper reveals that it's okay. I don't know how, but I still get to see him once a year, and then you hear sleigh bells.
So once a year, I get to see my friend.
Which is insane to me. They really said Santa Claus is a ghost forced to roam the earth, delivering presents to the good and punishing the wicked. I don't know, it's kind of an odd ending. For a while I thought that they were going to have Klaus die, and then Jesper grows old and bigger over the years and carries it on, and maybe changing his name to Santa Claus, making it a sort of mantle that you pass on. Not that Klaus just becomes a ghost, which I think is probably the first time for me that I'm a little disappointed in a Christmas movie's ending. Not because it was or wasn't predictable, but it just kind of felt left field. Maybe I missed it because beyond signs he gets from his wife, there aren't any moments of magic or mysticism in this movie, which leads me to believe that this is just a quote-unquote normal world. I don't know, I don't mean to nitpick. I generally like the movie overall. That's why Santa being a ghost in the end kind of felt like, oh, what the hell, guys? Either way, this gave me the hope and good vibes I was looking for at the moment, so I'll take that win graciously.